I'm at 2288 Court in Hebron, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, roof intrusion, bellies, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The access point is the stack here, and this is behind the electric fireplace. We were given permission to remove this to get to the stack. You can see, because it is a kitchen line, there's a lot of buildup in there. It's relatively normal, but it may be something like that where it gets on the front of the camera. So it's normal to have that kind of buildup in a sink line like that. It's just because of the food and the dishwasher and everything that sends grease and food particles down these lines. Kitchen lines are about the nastiest in your house. And so usually once you get out into the main branch, all this stuff will disappear and you will no longer have that. I'll no longer be pushing it. It looks like there is a little bit of water here. It's not uncommon to have the line inside the house be flat like this. It happens a lot because the minimum pitch you need is about 1/8 of an inch per foot. And so usually when they're underneath the floor, concrete floor in the basement, they're trying to, they use as little as pitch as possible before they get out of the house, and then it usually drops off right around the foundation or the footer. So in some of these areas we may not be able to see real well pushing out, but we should be able to run some water at least in the basement on the way back to be able to clear the lens off, and then as you pull back you don't push as much junk up in front of the camera. I'm also looking to see if I can find where the floor clean out is, because there should be a floor clean out before it exits the house, and maybe even clean out outside based off the age of the home. And here we're dropping off, and then I expect as this gets lower to see probably a clean out really close to this. Right around here you can see the two seams there and there. And so I'm going to run some water real quick and rinse off the camera here in the basement bathroom, and see if we can get a little bit of clarity there. And then hopefully we can kind of at least identify where that floor clean out is. It's probably been, just has some flooring over top of it. There you go. There it is, right there. So that is right. This is the floor clean out. And so we know at 53 feet, I will stop on the way back and I'll put a piece of tape on the floor. That way the buyer knows where that access point is. It would probably be easier to put something in there than to remove the fireplace again the next time. And that should be a two-way clean out, where you can go both inside the house and out to the street from that point. And here we are dropping off again as we get outside. And so we're hoping we can at least from this point get all the way out, at least into the street, get off the property, and that way anything beyond that point would be the responsibility of SD1. So we'll push out as far as we can with that water running, and then we'll see if we can shut the water off and pull back. As you can see, that camera lens is only about a ½ inch off the bottom of the pipe, you know, so it's not much water. And it could be stuff like that where you have some buildup that's causing a little bit of water to hold up. So we'll try to keep moving to make sure we can get as far as we can. Okay, here we are. I'm actually going to stop here. There's a clean out outside, which is what I was assuming before, but it's been covered over somehow, and I'm going to check to see where we are versus the property line, and then see if I can find this outside clean out real quick. It would make it easier to complete the inspection if I'm unable to get my camera to go all the way to the main. So again, I'm pausing here to locate this outside clean out. Okay, so the clean out that I'm below is outside in the it's in the mulch around that small tree there. If you're facing the house, it's in the left center of the front yard. I'll put a flag in that area that'll mark where it is. If you wanted to try to uncover it to verify where it is and to mark it with something else so that you could get access to it if needed, but it's pretty difficult being as little as that tree is, as close to the ground as it is. It doesn't really give you too much room to get underneath that tree. So looks like we're dropping again, which is definitely going to help my cause. But if you look in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you'll see the angle indicator. Right around in here. This is where the developer started. That's why this is SDR35, which is just another kind of PVC. And we should be getting close to being off the property at least. And we'll get all the way out as far as we can. Shut the water off. And then we'll wait for it to drain down, and then we'll pull back and be able to hopefully get a pretty good inspection. Everything I've seen so far is just a little bit of water buildup, which is probably due to the water flowing. So we have to move something here. I think we're going to run a little bit more water. Maybe that'll help too. Just in case it steams up. Okay. So, got a little bit more water running. It's going to take a minute for it to get down there, but that is about as far as I can make it. I'm 146 feet out, and I have run out of stick. But I should be plenty off the property. So I'm going to pause the video again and pull back. I'm going to pause the video, go locate, see exactly how far off the main I am. I'm sure I'm plenty off the property. I'm almost out 150 feet. But if the floor clean out was uncovered, I would definitely be able to get there. So I will mark that on my way back. But from this point on, it is the responsibility of the sewer district to take care of. So if there is anything beyond this point, it's not the responsibility of the homeowner. So again, I'm going to pause here, get a locate to verify how close I am to the main, and then we'll come back and inspect a little more on the pullback. Okay, so this is, you can kind of see there's a little bit of haze on the front of the camera there, but that is the main right in front of us. If you can see it, that is the turn down going into the main. I'm only a couple of feet, I'm only like 3 feet, so you can actually see to the end of the pipe. But so we did make it all the way to the main within a few feet. At least the image on the front of the camera, you can actually see all the way to the main. So we'll be able to inspect on the way back here. The main is on the other side of the street, just inside. It actually comes down through the cul-de-sac, and at the almost center dead end, past the curb, past the end of the cul-de-sac is where the manhole is. And there's another one that basically runs underneath the sidewalk until you hit the cul-de-sac, and when it widens out, it goes down through the center of the road. And I was just on the other side of the street. And so everything I could see on the way out, everything looked good. And so as we pull back here, we'll look for some of this stuff. There's some stuff like this, and I'm not sure, it's not causing any issues or any backups, but it could be some construction debris. It does look like there's been some recent work done, so it could be some paint that got flushed down, some like tile set or grout. Also could be drywall mud, any of those things. It could just be food buildup from regular use, but usually they don't clump together like that as bad unless there's a lot of grease in the line. Again, it's not an issue, it's not causing a problem. Should under regular use get flushed out of the line. You can see how much less once you turn the water off, how much less water there is in the line, and we can see it above it. Let's see, here's some more, and it looks awfully white. It's kind of hard to identify, but based off of some of the looks like the downstairs bathroom has just been redone. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's just been a lot of work done around here recently. And that's what got rinsed off in that stationary tub in the basement. And that's the remnants of it. Okay, so we are back onto the property. I've seen on the way out, everything looked really good. So it looks really good. Nice and open. right in here that we saw the clean out. I think it's right in there. There we are. And so what I'm going to do here is push right underneath it. And then I'm going to pause the video one more time. Locate this spot. I'm going to put a piece of duct tape on the floor exactly where this clean out is. Alright. So it is just in front of where the sauna is, sitting right there, right before it exits. So if you're facing the house, it's the left front corner. If you're coming down the steps and turning left, it's just a few feet, like 3 feet from the corner, from the corner to your front right there, where the sauna is sitting. I left it. The sauna is pulled out a little bit, so I just put a piece of tape in there so that you can see exactly where that is. So the good news is that the line is in good shape. I haven't found any issues with it, so there's no what you expect to find on a house this new, with full PVC, all the way out. It could use to be flushed out a little bit. You can see stuff like this build up here, and this is just grease and stuff because this is the sink line. Grease and food material. It would do good to flush this line out. It's not a defect, but I mean, I'm sure under regular use you could get all this stuff flushed out of the line. I don't know how long the house has been empty, but I think the biggest cause of all this stuff is just material being run down. Another big problem is also having a garbage disposal. Can also get people to put stuff down their kitchen sink that they otherwise shouldn't. So we made it all the way out to the main and back, and everything looked good. You could tell that the water dissipated once we shut the water off. Everything drained as it should. There is a little bit of buildup in this sink line, which is pretty normal. Nowadays people put a lot of stuff down their sinks and stuff that they probably shouldn't, and so you get a little bit of a buildup, but that should dissipate. I think under regular use, if the house has been empty, under regular use, especially now that I ran my camera through it, it's going to kind of break it up a little bit and allow a lot of that stuff to flow on down the line a lot easier. And so I didn't find any issues, which is good. Just that little bit of food buildup and stuff in the sink line. Structurally, everything looked great. All the joints look nice and tight. I did mark the inside clean out with a piece of tape, and I'll mark the outside clean out with a green flag underneath that tree. But other than that, the line looked great. So that'll end the inspection at 2288 Peak Court in Hebron, Kentucky.